Welcome everybody to a first look at Mothergunship. This is a roguelike FPS from the makers of Tower of Guns. And developers have taken that formula and expanded on it. You'll still be moving through procedurally generated levels that are stitched together from these preset rooms, but the new twist is with the weapon customization. All the weapons that you'll see in this video are created using the game's gun modding system. There are no preset gear in this one. So the story is that humanity is trying to win back its freedom from an evil race that has taken over, and we gotta get to their mother gunship, as the title implies, to stop them. So to do that, we'll be going through a lot of ships doing running and shooting and running. The enemy design is very similar to Tower of Guns in that it's very basic, mainly turrets and all kinds of automated enemies that you'll see. Walk into a room, enemies spawn in, you have to kill them. And again, the twist of the game comes in with the gun mod system. Now, from what I've played so far, the basic level design is on the simplistic side. Enemies are going to just be coming at you, and as long as you're good at circle strafing, you can avoid most of the obstacles. The real danger comes in when they start filling the arena with all manner of turrets and bombs, as you can see dropping down right now. But let me load up the gun mod system here, and you'll see where things get very interesting. With the weapon mod system, you're going to build your guns out 3 different categories, and you can do this either in missions, as you're seeing here, or beforehand by taking the parts and then going to the shop or this kind of area at the beginning of each level. Some missions will require you to take in a pre-selected set. But the guns are built on 3 different groups of gear. You have connectors, which are the parts that will hold the other 2 elements in, barrels, which are the weapons themselves, and then capacitors, which are kind of the passive modifiers. They'll increase damage, velocity, stuff like that. Now, as you're watching this, the guns themselves, as long as the barrels are facing forward, you have complete freedom to add whatever you want. The limiting factor is energy. Your energy costs will go up with the more parts associated to your guns. And you have basically 2 guns you'll have equipped at all times. If you notice a few parts have different colors, that denotes rarity. So if I want to create a quad chain gun, rocket launcher, laser, spike bowl launcher, I can do that, given if I have enough parts and I can fit them all in. As you can see, I'm having some trouble there. The weapons themselves operate on pure arcade physics, so don't be expecting any kind of very complicated gunplay in Mothergunship. But, as you can see, I'm putting things together quite nicely, trying to create my own monstrosity. And as you get further into the game, more parts are unlocked, which kind of plays into the game's punishment mechanic that we'll talk about in the next few seconds. But there, my guns are done for some craziness there. So with that said though, Mothergunship does have a few issues to it. Despite the impressive insanity of this boss right here, the game does feel a bit on the repetitive side. Like we've shown so far, most of the enemies have just very basic AI, and you really aren't given a lot of complexity or depth to the weapon crafting. As you can see, I'm just basically using whatever has the highest totals and going from there. It's not like I can create or get some emergent gameplay. So just being able to create, let's say, an ice-based weapon, or get really inventive with how things are customized. But as I said a few seconds ago, one of the big issues with Mothergunship that I think may rub people the wrong way is the punishment for dying. If you run out of health during a mission, you will not only have to restart that mission, but any weapon components that you've bought or brought with you on that mission are going to be lost. And that can be very painful, especially if you take higher quality stuff. You can go on sub-missions, which are supposed to be easier to gain more resources, but it does really hurt to lose a potentially great combo. So as you can see, I'm picking up a variety of items there. The purple crystals are experience, and those represent the game's persistent element that you'll see over the next few minutes, where you can actually apply them to your character and basically improve core stats like more health, more energy, faster speed, or even more jumps. You can also pick up passive bonuses as you play, which are only available for that specific level. So here's me going to knock into the totally not self-destruct button. I also ran into some performance issues with the game kind of stuttering in a few cases. I did lower my settings as well as update my video drivers, which helped matters a little bit after this recording, but I know some people were still complaining about it. Now, after every mission, you come back here where your various friends are going to talk to you about how crazy things are. I'm sure there's some great twists to the story. Those are my default fist weapons for when you don't have a gun equipped. And I'm just running around punching things. That globe there was the map that shows you the missions, and right now I'm heading to the armory. Come on, get in there. And you can unapply, or you can apply or respec as you see fit with your experience points. As soon as I decide to click on it here, and that's the suit you're also wearing, because you are basically a disposable Marine. There we go. So these are some of the stats. You can see I have 3 points to apply wherever I see fit. But again, this is your main form of persistence, and the experience does carry over, and you won't lose it, I believe, if you die on a mission. But with that said, I want to go over just a brief final thoughts on the matter while I finish punching that balloon. Ultimately, when it comes to Mothergunship, I like the basic concept, and I do enjoy the gun modding. I think the UI could be a little bit easier, since you have to switch between modes to add or remove parts instead of just having a hotkey to do it from one. But ultimately, I think what's going to make or break this game is how much variance they're able to add in terms of advanced pieces, more complicated enemies, and even just having more challenges on the various maps. Developers have promised that there will be a co-op mode, I believe, being tested or coming out in August, so they are planning on supporting this, at least for the short while. And if you are a fan of Tower of Guns, or just having more of an action element to your roguelikes, I would say definitely give this one a look over. But if you're expecting more in terms of some of the depth we see in traditional roguelite or roguelike based games, I don't think Mothergunship has it just yet. I found that a lot of the enemies are just hard because they're bullet sponges due to the stats of their level, rather than presenting an interesting challenge. And again, when you do die, the cost of dying can be very painful, especially if you lose some of these higher quality parts, like I did on this run. But you are able, or the game definitely gives you a lot of opportunities to buy more parts, and you can test them out in the armory. Also, as an interesting case, if you fast forward through the dialogue, it actually cuts the loading down in between here, as I've found. But I think with that, we'll wrap things up. There's some of that stuttering there. So, if you're interested in Mothergunship, it is available on Steam now. And I would once again thank the developers for giving me a press key. If you're working on your own game that you would like me to look at in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But otherwise, check back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom where we examine the art and science of games. Until next time, this has been Mothergunship, and I will see you guys then. Before we get to the credits, just a quick shout out to the supporters over on patreon.com/GWBycer. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check back for our regular streaming, most nights at 9:30, 10 EST, and you'll find a schedule linked down below. For a collection of my writings as well as audio casts on design, you'll find that at game-wisdom.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at GWBycer. If you're interested in hanging out and talking about game design topics, we have a Discord channel with the basic tier open to everybody, and that is linked down below as well. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, it is at patreon.com/GWBycer. Your support can help to keep things going and growing, and you can earn rewards such as ad-free versions of our talks, votings for our specific Let's Plays and grab bag streams, and more. But that's it for now. Thanks again for watching. I hope you come back for more great discussions on design here and on GameWisdom.com, where we examine the art and science of games.